I was actually very nervous about having kids, one, just because of the hereditary nature of my eye disease, and I learned probably 12 or 13 years ago that the genes or the eye disease necessarily would not be passed along. I have retinitis pigmentosa, commonly called RP, and I was diagnosed at the age of 11, declared legally blind at the age of 19, and I currently have about a 3 to 4% field of vision. So my vision is very similar to looking through a paper towel roll, where it's just extreme tunnel vision. So my vision right now on a day-to-day basis is different depending where I am. When I'm in my home, I can move around without a white cane and with a fair amount of confidence, although I do tend to knock over glasses and cups of coffee and so forth. I work really hard making sure that I'm still able to do everything that I want to do. Part of that is being flexible and learning skills and how to adapt to the environment that I'm in or the situation that I'm in. We can't put limits on ourselves, and even though things get challenging and even though we may fail, that race and moment in time isn't the issue. It's how you respond and adapt. Whether it's being a parent and evolving as a supportive parent and husband, or in the workplace, or with my running. Living in a city like Boston, where everything is compact and close, and public transportation, it provides me with a tremendous amount of independence to continue doing the different roles that I need to do, whether that is as a coworker or parent or husband or a runner. So I started running right around 2010. I first started walking in a park, and then I started running for 5 minutes, and then 20 minutes, and then an hour. And I once ran for 2 hours, and I never thought I would start, or I never thought I'd run more than 2 hours. So I signed up for my first half marathon. I ran that and had a great time running it with my sister-in-law, and continued to sign up for half marathons and marathons. And then I started running ultra marathons and trail races. I started running on my own, but I fell a lot, and I started running with running sighted guides about 4 or 5 years ago. So on the trails, I run right behind my guide, and they call out items as they go over them. So that could be a small rock or a big root or go left. And when they call that out, I know I have about 2 strides to step over that obstacle, whether it's a rock or a root. My Western States qualifier was the Yeti 100 in September of 2018 in Virginia. And shortly thereafter, I put my name into the Western States lottery. And at the same time, I started to have a conversation with Clif about utilizing their sponsor bib to get entry to Western States. Many of my peers have the ability to run Western States, but I am honored to have the opportunity to be the first runner who is visually impaired to toe the start line. My whole goal going into this was to run as hard as I could for as long as I could and not get too caught up on the cutoffs in our time. And I just had an incredibly challenging time with my footing and staying on my feet. I think I fell anywhere from a dozen times to probably 20 times. And then we hit a couple miles of snow, and it was either off camber or not level, or a grade that was going up or down, kind of left or right. And then right at about mile 8, the sweepers kind of came up behind us at about mile 8, and that's when I realized that we were well behind the cutoffs and unlikely to make the first cutoff. So that was hard, and I was able to kind of take a few minutes just by myself and think about it, and then you just move on. I would much rather take on a challenge like this, toe the start line, and have a result of a do not finish like I did today, versus not taking on this challenge and this adventure.
I think for Kyle, he's got that tenacity. We all have to learn from the things that happen out in the race course. We adapt as much as we can, and then sometimes we just can't can't get past that. And it's hard to bounce back from that, but Kyle's going to come back stronger.
We can set really huge challenges, and we can try to work to break down those stereotypes about runners who are blind or visually impaired or have different abilities, and use races like this as an opportunity to create awareness.